So I'm sure you guys all know, but yesterday Pablo López of the Miami Marlins is no longer Marlin because he was traded away to the Minnesota Twins, and he was one of the biggest starting pitching targets for the San Diego Padres. So now that kind of seems like a big disappointment, but the Padres are still looking for that last starting pitching spot, as we all know. And Ha-Seong Kim is obviously one of the biggest sought pieces of a trade between the Padres and another team. And the Boston Red Sox keep coming up in those trade talks. And the question that I want to ask myself and you guys, is a Ha-Seong Kim trade inevitable? Can the Padres hang on to him? Or is it going to have to be Kim or starting pitching? Regardless, let's talk about it. It's starting to get disappointing that the Padres cannot lock down that last rotation starter. The Padres rotation was ranked at 15th out of 30, so the definition of mid. I mean, you got Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, Blake Snell, Nick Martinez, Seth Lugo. That's very solid. But like I said in my last couple of videos as a theme, imagine if one of the big three of Darvish, Snell, or Musgrove get injured or cannot play. The Padres will be in a very, very tough position because they don't have the starting pitching depth. With that being said, that is why the Padres have been well in the market looking for another starting pitcher. Obviously, Pablo López has been on our radar for a long time, but now he is completely off the board. There's still a lot of options for the Padres to go to. There's still some options on the Marlins. You got Edward Cabrera, a very young and up-and-coming pitcher. Trevor Rogers, more on him in a second. And there's some guys on the Red Sox. Chris Sale, big theme. We talked about that a couple videos ago. And a nice relief pitcher in Tanner Houck. But I first want to talk about the Marlins options that we still have that we can potentially make a trade for and that Kim might get traded to. So first I want to talk about Trevor Rogers. And if we got Trevor Rogers, it would be a huge, huge gamble because he was absolutely amazing in 2021. He was an all-star. And in 2022, he fell off a cliff. He was atrocious. He went 4-11 with a 5.47 ERA, only pitched 107 innings, and get this, had a 1.505 whip. So he's averaging 1.5 base runners every inning. That is absolutely terrible. But let's just go back a year to 2021. He was an all-star. He had a 2.64 ERA. Granted, he only had 133 innings pitched. I'm not the type of person to say that guys can get lucky in the big leagues. I mean, I think it's still possible to get lucky a little bit, but there's got to be some skill there. You can't have an 133 inning fluke. That is very impressive. So there might be some good pitcher in there. He's still young. He's going to be going into his age 25 season in 2023. And I think the Marlins would love a guy like Kim. I just heard that they're moving Chisholm to center field. But now let's talk about Edward Cabrera. I still get PTSD every time I hear the name Edward Cabrera. MLB The Show people know. But anyways, Edward Cabrera is a very good young pitcher. He's going to be going into his age 25 season. In 2022, he had a 3.01 ERA and only 71.2 innings pitched. He had a 1.074 whip, so he's really good at limiting base runners. I see a very young star in this guy. I think that he has a lot of potential, and I think that he would be a very good move for the Padres. It's not as risky as Trevor Rogers because he proved himself in 2022. But with Jazz Chisholm moving to center field and Miguel Rojas getting traded to the Dodgers, the Marlins could definitely use a guy like Kim, and I definitely see them wanting to trade for Kim if we're going to get one of their starting pitchers. So now let's talk about the Boston Red Sox, another team that the Padres are linked to for starting pitching, and another team that wants Ha-Seong Kim as a shortstop. So first, the pitchers that the Padres are interested in are Chris Sale, Brayan Bello, and Tanner Houck. So first, I want to talk about Chris Sale. I'm not going to go too much into depth on him because you guys know how I feel about him. He's a great pitcher. He's one of the best of all time. You know, he leads all time in strikeouts per nine and strikeouts per walk, but he just can simply not stay healthy. And sure, it'd be cool to have Chris Sale, but I think that we should get another pitcher along with him to make sure that it's actually a plausible trade that the Padres can benefit from, because there's no guarantee that Sale's going to even pitch one inning this year. He finally came back last year after lots of injuries and broke his wrist or something on a bike. The guy just cannot stay healthy. But now I want to talk about Tanner Houck, and he's actually not a starting pitcher, but he's a very solid reliever. So Tanner Houck's a very solid pitcher. In 2022, he went 5-4 with a 3.15 ERA. He had 60 innings pitched and had a 1.183 whip, so he can control the ball. You know, he knows where the ball's going. He's got a career 3.02 ERA and 146 innings pitched and a career 150 ERA plus. He's a very solid pitcher, and I think that he'd be a nice spot in our bullpen, but that's not what we're really going for. You know, we're going for that starting pitcher. We need that starting pitching depth, and I think that can come from Brayan Bello. So Baio's the number 4 prospect in the Red Sox system. He debuted in 2022 in a very small sample size, and he was absolutely terrible in the bigs, but I want to focus on his minor league numbers because he was very good. So in double and triple A in 96 innings pitched, he had a 2.34 ERA and had 129 strikeouts in those 96 innings. So he has some nasty stuff. My only concern with him is that he just doesn't know where the ball's going, and that clearly showed when he came up in the bigs. He pitched 57.1 innings and had a 1.779 whip, so he was almost averaging 2 runners per base every inning. If the Padres can fix him and Ruben Niebla can work his magic, it's going to be huge. It'd be kind of like a risk like Trevor Rogers with the Marlins. Brayo hasn't proved himself in the bigs yet. Obviously, it was a very small sample size, and he's a beast in the minors. You know, he's the number 4 prospect in the Red Sox system. Since the Red Sox and the Marlins are really interested in Ha-Seong Kim, if we were to trade him, there would be other consequences besides losing his on-field play and production. He's a clubhouse guy. Everybody loves him there. He's a huge part of the team. He's kind of like the team mascot. You know, Manny took him under his wing. And it'd be really sad to lose a guy like Kim. There's no doubt. Obviously, everybody in that clubhouse understands it's a game of business. You know, it's a business. The game is to win. If the trading Kim means to win, they would be, you know, disappointed, but they would eventually get over it. And all the fans would be disappointed. They'd lose a lot of fans. There's no doubt about that. That may be another thing that the Padres have to take into account. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that we should still trade Kim for that starting pitching that we desperately need? Which starting pitcher do you like the most? You like Trevor Rogers, Cabrera, Brayan Bello, Ha-Seong, or the reliever Tanner Houck? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that Ha-Seong Kim could be traded at all? Do you guys think that we can get around it? I don't know. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not done so yet. Give the video a like and turn on that post notification bell. If you guys like Padres baseball and baseball in general, this is the place to be. But that's it for me. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yo, now trick what makes who? They ain't what makes do. Got a lot of girls that'll love to replace you. Tell it to your face.